Relax, the press box is closed, but the mic is just getting warmed up. Welcome to the Hockey Writers Inc. Join your host, Ron, as we talk all things Philadelphia Flyers and Lehigh Valley fandom. Relax. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next episode of the Hockey Writers Inc. with your very special guest host, Mr. Russ Cohen. How you doing, Russ?
Good, Ron. How are you?
Oh man, I'll tell you what, I'm doing great because everywhere you turn, there's hockey.
Yep.
So this is like my favorite time of the year, all day long, because everywhere you turn, there's hockey. So
We're
you know,
deep into it.
deep, very deep, right? November is like the best time. We're coming up on some junior tournaments here coming up in December
Yeah.
soon here too, and
Well, no,
some of
November there'll be the CHL versus the USA Prospects. It's coming up.
Oh, that's right. I forgot the end of November. So yeah, man, I'm
Yep.
really excited about that too, though, for sure, for sure. Well, hey, how about this, folks? We're doing the Hockey Writers Inc., a Philadelphia Flyers centric podcast. By the way, would like to say big props and thanks to all you folks out there for getting us ranked number 10 in all of Philadelphia Flyers podcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It has a lot to do with Russ Cohen. It has a lot to do with the great stuff that we talk about, and it has a lot to do with you folks out there. So really, really, really appreciate that, man. I'm telling you what, it's great to be such this. I mean, we're this dinky little Hockey Writers Inc. show, and we're up there with the big boys. Yeah.
It's good stuff.
That's right. It's good stuff because we put out good quality stuff. Because as you see, we have the main man, Pots and Pans, Mr. Russ Cohen, here on the show with us, and I think this elevates our show, Russ, quite extensively because you're here. And I just want to say thank you very much
No,
for
you're
helping
welcome.
and for being on the show here and doing this with me, man. I really appreciate it.
Yep. Anytime.
All right, here we go. Episode number 212, the Hockey Writers Inc. There's some good with what the Flyers are doing, and the Phantoms dropped two, but they're still holding third. So, okay, let's dive into the deep end here. Okay, first of all, let's do with the breaking news, quote unquote breaking news. The Flyers made a trade today, a defenseman for a defenseman. The Senators, they send Gilbert to the Senators, right? And so, what's your assessment of the return, Mac, Maxence, Maxence,
Yeah, I think so.
Guenette?
Hmm.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's go with that. What's your take on him, Russ? I mean, he's, eh, you
My
know,
take on him is like he hasn't played in any NHL games in a couple of years. He um, has a little bit of offense in the AHL. He didn't rip it up in the queue.
no,
He basically he's a right-handed shot defenseman, but again, I understand the Flyers might need one in the organization,
okay,
but like I wouldn't have picked this guy up. I just wouldn't have.
okay,
But I think he was doing somebody he knows a favor. So I just think this was like because I read Bruce Garrioch's article in the Ottawa Citizen, and he was just like, "Hey, we've got this guy, and he's unsigned. Like he hasn't played at all this year
right,
because he was an unsigned RFA. They didn't want him, so
wow,
Ottawa trades him to the Flyers." And Garrioch basically his summation was, "Yeah, I guess they'll try and get something for him that they could maybe use in the NHL." And yeah, Gilbert's more useful today and probably will be in the future. So yeah,
okay.
I just think this is a favor.
Okay, well, there you go. There you have it, folks. I mean, it's an AHL guy for an AHL guy anyway. You know what I mean?
I
It's
mean,
not
yes, but not really because Gilbert has played a lot more in the NHL.
with you on that for sure. I mean,
Not
okay,
that he's
but
great, but you get
right,
what I'm
but he
saying.
has he has some experience in the NHL.
Yes.
He's at least played a few games in the NHL as compared to the trade that we got for Gautier or however you say his name. But
Yeah,
okay,
I looked up Guenette's our his defensive zone starts, and it was really low. Like he basically has 51% offensive zone starts. 51%. That's super high. So
Yeah.
what that basically tells you is what the points that you see that he was getting in the AHL is because he spent a lot of time in the offensive zone, not
Right.
much time in the defensive zone. So I
Right.
can't imagine that's going to be a big help for them ever in the NHL, to be honest.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, there you
Yeah.
go. I mean, it was the latest thing. It was,
Yep.
came across the news desk, as it were, or so to speak, or whatever you want to call it. And
Yeah.
just wanted to get your take on
Oh, sure.
that little tidbit right there. You know what I mean? Because clearly it's going to be a guy that's going to be playing for the Phantoms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When he
So,
gets in shape, like I imagine, I don't think he's been able to practice or anything. I mean, I don't think you could practice if you're unsigned.
oh really? Wow.
I'm not 100%. Maybe they allow him, but I doubt it.
Okay.
So he's
Wow.
probably got to
Yeah.
work himself into,
Hockey
game
shape.
shape if nothing else. He hasn't
Yeah.
played in any games.
Wow. All right. Well, there you go then. Whew. All
Not
right.
this year, I
Wow.
mean.
I didn't realize it was quite that extensive for his lack of play. But
Well, yeah, his contract there's RFA rights there, but his contract stopped in 24-25, and you know what year this is, right?
yeah, 25, 26.
Okay. All right. Well, you passed the cognitive test, so good for you.
Hey, all right. I passed something. Yes.
Feel good about that.
Yeah, man. It's the little victories, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, there you go. Okay. Well, speaking of little victories, that's a perfect segue into hey, the Flyers are ranked 16th on the power play. And this is something that we've kind of been talking about a lot, Russ, where
Hmm.
if they were to just get to that middle part of the rankings with their power play. I mean, sometimes it looks okay, and other times it's like you're still scratching your dome going, "What are you doing, guys?" Because
Yeah.
there's still it's like a work in progress, I think. But hey, it's an improvement, don't you think?
No, it's an improvement, but is it an improvement simply because of Trevor Zegras, or is it an improvement because the whole system's better? I might argue with you on this because,
Oh, I'm
uh,
not going to go system on you now. Come on.
right, because like they still don't have a point man really.
No,
They haven't
no,
decided on that,
no.
and Owen Tippett hasn't done anything on a power play. He's at least starting to pick it up 5-on-5. Uh, it's not like Matvey Michkov has done much on the power play.
Well, he
So
did get a power play goal the other
he
night,
did, and that was good.
right? And that was good, right?
But I'm just saying, so 16 is like a lot of it on the back of Trevor Zegras,
Yeah.
which is fine. And it probably could improve a little bit. But the interesting thing is, remember, there was the talk that, hey, if they get better goaltending and the power play could be just in the middle, that everything would be great. Well, everything's
Well,
still not great because
right.
hockey's
Because
more complicated than that, Ron.
no, no, no. Because the goaltending has gotten a little better, and the power
Uh huh.
plays a little better, and you know what I mean. And so,
Yeah.
and I'm looking at the defensive numbers, and I'm looking at the analytics on the defensive side, and Philadelphia is like one of the top defensive teams out there right now. I mean, we're not quite 20 games in yet, but as far as like um uh goals allowed, they're one of they're in the top five as far as fewest goals allowed. As far as shots allowed on goal, they're one of the fewest in the league as far as that's concerned. So I'm seeing some improvements.
Yeah, there's definitely improvement with the system on D, but they're still having trouble with their D.
Yes.
And so that's why the analytics don't tell the full story because, again, with St. Louis, they gave up a lot of goals. They won that one in the shootout. That's
Right.
fine.
Right.
And then in Dallas, they got shellacked.
Yes.
So,
Bad. Ugh.
so like it's, that's where the analytics not lead you astray, but like has
Correct.
to be looked at with other things. And so,
Correct. It's part
like
of
I'm
the whole
seeing,
thing.
yeah, it's just a portion of it. And so like
Right.
you see maybe what's going wrong lately with Nick Seeler. Uh,
Yeah.
can he continue to play second pairing? I don't know, but they may not have a choice, but I don't know. Rasmus Ristolainen did skate today, but I still don't know how far away he is.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
I don't know if that would solve that problem. But there is that. There is the issue where like they won't play Yinning or Zamula anymore, but they won't send him down either because they're afraid of him getting claimed. And my feeling is there are guys out there that have passed through waivers that they could have claimed, but they probably didn't because these guys they're afraid to send through waivers. So it's like if the coach isn't going to use them, I think Danny has to. I think Danny
Do
Briere has
something.
to just send him through and just hope for the
Yeah.
best because I
Yeah.
think you're landlocking your roster. It's not like the Flyers are that good where they can't possibly make an upgrade for somebody who's on waivers because I think they could have a week ago, not a week ago, a month ago, um, and so like I think that's sort of holding that part of him back.
Okay. I got you. And I can kind of see that. I can kind of see where you're coming from as far as that's concerned, Russ. Because and that's I think that's part of what's going on here with Philadelphia because they're still trying to build this roster. Let's face it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And there's guys that there's still moving parts to this roster. There's still moving parts to each line. And we don't have
they have one set line, they do, and then they have just about the top six set. But should it be set? Like that's the bigger question, and my answer is probably not.
I agree.
Um, for all of the excitement for Nikita Grabenkin, this guy's barely playing, man.
Yeah.
Here's his minutes from his last 5 games: 12 minutes, 9 minutes, 8 minutes, 8 minutes. That's a little more than that, but not much. And then
Right.
12 minutes. How
Ooh.
much of an impact can you have playing that?
Not very many.
Right.
Not
So he's
very
got
much of
three
an
points.
impact.
He's a -3.
Yeah.
Could he do more? Yeah, he might be able to. Well, you're not going to find out this way, though.
Not no. No, no, no. I agree. Okay. So but that's the other thing that I think as well cuz I think Sandheim is also kind of I I man, I've seen him play better and
Yeah, he's got it all on his shoulders. I don't think he's playing badly, but he's got it all on his shoulders. Like there's, you know, tremendous amount of responsibility considering he's really not a true number one. So
right.
I think he's doing all he can, and
Okay.
uh, I don't think you can get a lot more than this out of him. Remember, like last year when he made the Four Nations and everything else, it was on the strength of his skating and
Yep.
his good defense, not so much on the offense. Like he had 30
Right.
points. He's
Correct.
got 6 now. He's probably on pace for the same 30 points.
Yeah.
Now, could he get more? Like he had 44 the year. Yeah, if there was probably a better pairing partner for him, and that's no shame to Cam York, but he's not a top pairing guy, but he is
Right.
playing the part.
Yeah.
So it all affects that. So I'm not going to ding him.
Okay. I mean, all right. Sorry if I did, but oh well,
No, no,
yeah,
you're just telling it like it is, and so am
Yeah.
I.
Yep. And see, and that's why I love having you on here, Russ, because I love the fact that you're a no holds kind of guy. You just kind of just spell it out there because it is what it is. There's no sugarcoating about it. There's no you
Yeah,
you you can't polish a turd and expect it to still be good. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I mean, there's some things that are going good here. There's no question about it.
Yep.
But, we have to understand like every year the NHL changes, right? And
Yep.
so we're, 18, 19 games into the season. So what has changed for the Flyers? Well, they're a couple points out of the playoffs, but they're also a couple of points, 5 points from the bottom, from the absolute bottom.
Exactly.
And so that's the way this league is right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the Toronto Maple Leafs have 18 points. They're second worst in the East. Are they going to stay there? Probably not. The Florida
Depending.
Panthers, 19 points. The Capitals are 18 points, and they have 21. So right now, yeah, it looks better for them for sure. Um, Today, they're not in a playoff spot. But are all those teams going to stay down? Tampa, too? Like somebody's not going to.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
So that's where I'm saying things will have a way of leveling off. So I'm looking at the big picture, and that's where a guy like Grebenkin should play more. That's where, and I think Michkov's in good enough shape where he could play more minutes. I I don't
I'm
see
with
any
you.
issues there, and he should
he
be
was
playing more
he was
minutes.
next on the list. I was gonna get to him.
Yeah, yeah. No, and he should be playing more minutes. And so, because that's your future,
Hmm.
Nick Delorier is not your future,
Nope.
but I've had to say this along the way with different Flyers teams because these new coaches come in and they want to hang on to the veterans as long as they can. I understand that, but there's also a bigger job at hand here, and it's not being fully serviced right now.
Agreed. Agreed. And I I'm glad you said that, Russ, because I very much agree with that and have felt that that's something that the Flyers have historically done where they've held on to those veterans a little longer than I think they maybe should have. Do you know what I mean? Every
Yeah,
coach has had those one or two guys where maybe they shouldn't have played him as much as they did or whatever the
yeah,
case is, right? And so I so agree with you on that. I cannot believe that Delorier has gotten this many games already with
yeah. It
the
makes no sense. Now,
it's,
on the plus side, it seems like Emil Andre has won a job, and that's good. He's earned it.
yep,
But
I agree.
on the negative side, like I said, you have these other two defensemen that can't seem to find their way in the lineup, but they definitely should find their way in the lineup. You've had back-to-back games. You've had games where this team has given up way too many goals. You're trying to tell me there's no way they could work their way in?
You
Like, it doesn't
know,
make sense.
I don't either. I agree. I agree. And I think until they get that kind of stuff figured out, Russ, this is the kind of games we're going to get. You're going to
Yeah,
get
it's going to be like, they'll be 5-3-2 like they are now. They'll be 4-7-1 like they're going to go on these kinds of runs.
exactly, exactly. I mean, all things considered, we are seeing some improvements,
Hmm.
right? We are seeing some improvements. We are seeing some areas in the defense that are getting better, although there's still a lot more room for improvement. We are seeing the likes of Michkov now starting to get up on his horse,
Hmm.
okay, and starting to see that, and we're starting to see Tippett now starting to get a little bit more involved, and
Well,
I
he did
really
for a couple of games. He didn't really that much for
right,
Dallas. So
right,
we're it's still better, but it's not like because he had some shots, but it's not
right.
exactly it's not where you want it to be.
It's not consistent. It's not
No, and that's
consistent,
that's always the
and
name of
that's
the
the
game.
problem. And I think you're also waiting for Tyson Forster.
Right.
Now,
No, he has a legit reason though. Like
yeah,
he was coming back off of
yep,
injury, so I'm sure
yep,
at some point it will kick
right.
in for him. But we also have to talk about the goaltending because I think Sam Emerson is close to playing himself out of a job, or at
I think
least he
so
should
too.
be.
Yeah,
And that would mean Alexei Kolosov at some point might have to come up. We could talk about ramifications for the Phantoms in a minute. But the other thing is, like Dan Vladar is doing better than any Flyers goalie's done in the last 2 years, but he is slipping a little bit.
yeah.
And his road record the last 2 years has not been great, and now he's got a losing road record. Um, Last year, I looked it up. He had like 6 overtime losses and or shootout losses, and he only had 30 starts. And Urson's almost undefeated in the shootout. But the problem is
He
he's
can't
almost
play in the
unbeatable
game.
that way. But he has to play the regular game
Yeah.
first, and he can't give up 4 goals in that. And then
you
you've got
know,
the flip side where Vladar has mostly been good, but he's had some clunkers lately, and
yeah.
so you know his save percentage is slipping a bit. So the goaltending's still better, but it still has not answered the question to me. Do they have a number one? That question has not been answered.
Well, I think that the goaltending appears better because Vladar has been playing really well, and his
Hmm.
save percentage up until these last two games was at what 938 or
Yeah, it's at
something like
909
that.
now, though.
Okay, right. All right. So that still in and of itself is an improvement, I think, like you said,
It is
better than any of the last goalies the last 2 years. And that includes, guess who? Sam Harrison, who
right.
was the main goaltender of the last 2 years.
Well,
Okay.
you don't want to
So,
know his save percentage right now.
uh, uh, no, I don't. Thank you. And I think I saw it the other day.
Yeah,
And
he's ranked in like the 70s.
yeah, right.
Yeah, it's not great.
Uh, that that's ouch. That's ouch. Okay,
Yeah.
so all right, Flyers are kind of maintaining. They're going to
Yeah.
beat some teams. They're going to lose to some teams,
Hmm.
right? But now, like with I want to kind of zero in on what you said there about Arison potentially playing himself out of a job and what that might mean now for the Phantoms. Now, the Phantoms were in third, dropped 2 games in a row to Hershey over the weekend. Um, uh, an overtime loss and then a straight out loss, but they're still in third. They're still and Hershey's right there behind him. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? They're 1 point ahead of Hershey in the standings. So and I think there's guys that are playing better in Lehigh, but if Sam Harrison plays himself out of a job, what does that mean for the Phantoms? Because now that means you're going to have to bring Alexei up and send
Hmm.
what Sam Harrison down.
No, I don't know if they do that. I think they might hold on to all three. I mean, and hope that Harrison comes out of it. I think that might be the game plan, and then that does weaken the Phantoms because then Yana Peretz comes back up
Right.
because they don't have anybody else.
No, after yeah, right. And
So
so
Peretz is the other guy with Carson Bjarnason, and so that could cause a problem in the next couple weeks with the Flyers unless they just go with this goaltending, even though Harrison's not been good enough. So it could have an organizational effect. We'll wait and see on that one, but that's something. But I also did some deep dives on Alex Bump and Denver Barkey, and while the points look good on Bump, he still needs a lot of work.
yes.
And and I think some were recognizing that, some were kind of running off on the hey, he's like second in rookie scoring in the AHL, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Um, but it's also we have to remember that's okay, except some people were telling me preseason that he was going to make the team,
Yeah.
and he hadn't made the team. So now he's leading the team, this team in scoring. That's good, but like at times against Hershey, he was getting overmatched again. And
Okay.
so, and they played 3 in a row. I get it, but he has to get used to all that. So there's
Right.
work to be done there, and
Right.
that's fine. His offense is good, but teams have figured out how to neutralize him a little bit too at times, and that's something. Denver Barkey, while the speed's been good and the points have risen a little bit, uh, he didn't get one shot on goal that second game against Hershey on that Sunday.
Yeah.
And so things really slowed down for him in that game. And that was another one where I feel like it was a veteran team that kind of was like, all right, what are we
Yeah.
going to do here to stop the Phantoms? We're going to stop these two guys, this line. And they did.
yeah.
And they did
And
in their
and
tracks.
yep.
And so, and
Okay.
that was the thing. Like the Phantoms have been getting a lot of scoring from other places. But when this line started to crank it up, then it helped. So they're doing well. And I think they will keep improving because I think these two young guys will keep improving. But I just think you have to have like a median point of excitement for them because there's a lot of work here. Like people are like already asking me, "Hey, is
Yep.
Barkey going to get called up?" And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"No, he's
No.
not."
No, he's
You
not.
know,
Right.
and neither of these guys have earned a call up.
No.
And
No.
check with them at the end of the year. But I feel like they have to go through the season, go through the playoffs. I wouldn't worry about where they're playing other than Lehigh and who they're
Agreed.
playing in the playoffs. I think that's the
Agreed.
worry.
Agreed. And I also like the Christian Cairo.
Yeah,
He's kind of been working out pretty well down there
he
with the
has.
Phantoms as well too. So, and
I like
he's kind of
Kyrou.
been
I don't know um, if he's ever going to be an NHLer. I wasn't sure of that before he got traded. I'm still not sure of it. I know he's terrific in the AHL. It's like Belpedio, who was on the other side of the puck for that series.
yeah.
He does
and
great
now
in
he's
the
playing with Hershey now.
Yeah, he does great in the AHL, but if you bring him up to the NHL, then he's not as great. Cairo at least is younger, so you see if there's something there. Um, Time will tell on that one, but um, I think there's a while to go before they would consider that.
right. But I'm still liking his play. I'm
Yes.
liking what he's been doing with the
Yeah,
Phantoms.
he
I'm
had an assist over the weekend. He's still
right.
more than a point a game, which is terrific.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, so far it's been a great debut and a small sample size for him.
Exactly. Like you said, a small sample size. But regardless of that fact, I still like that addition to the team. I'm still liking what he's been able to contribute. And like you said, I liked what Denver Barkey is doing. I like what Alex
Yeah.
Pump is doing. But in that same vein, these guys still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
They might be top prospects, but at this point, that's all I consider them as top prospects. Like
Right.
you said, I wouldn't even consider these guys for call ups right now.
No.
And what we even said at the beginning of the year, Russ, when we were talking about training camp and all this other stuff, and everybody else was talking about how these two guys are going to potentially make the team, and
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
both like, "Yeah, no, these guys need to get down to the AHL
Right.
and spend some time down there and
And
learn
that's
how to
been
play."
proven, and that's been
Right.
proven to be the correct move. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the point I was trying to get to, Russ, was that you and I were like, "Yeah, no, these guys probably should stay down." And guess what? They're staying down, and it's proven right because they need work. you
Yes.
know. So, but Phantom's still holding on to third by one sliver of a point over Hershey. So, okay, but
Yeah.
either way, Phantom's doing much better this year, I think, so far or
Yes.
overall than what they were doing last year, even though they made the playoffs 2 years in a row.
Yeah. I mean, making the playoffs was something, but they never really appeared to be a threat. I think if
Right.
things were to gel on this team, they could be a little bit of a threat.
I agree. I agree because I think there is some of that now. They were without Richard that one game or two there against Hershey, and he's one of their leading scorers as well. So I mean, you're going to have those injuries and you're going to have those guys in and out of the lineup. But for the most part, I
Yeah,
think we
listen,
have.
I still like Cooper Marody, and I think he
Mm-hmm.
provides leadership. He
Mm-hmm.
still gets points. He's still only 28. He's one of these guys that I had as a draft sleeper back in 2015 when he was drafted, and just so happens the Flyers did draft him. I had seen him in some USHL play. I really liked what I saw, and he's had a nice career. He's not played much in the NHL, just 7 games, but he's valuable to the Phantoms, and when you see he's in there, he makes a difference for them.
Exactly, exactly. And that's the kind of guys you need to have. And that's what you were talking about as far as having some of those veterans in
Yes,
there, you know what I mean, that are going to continue to help the team and things like that. And even though they might not necessarily be NHL guys, you still need to have those
you need
guys on the team.
organizational guys. Like it's just a
See,
fact.
there you go. Exactly. You need those organizational guys.
You
So
do.
now I got another question here I want to throw at you, all right?
Okay.
All right. So hold on a second here. I got to make sure I say the right stuff and get the right name of everything here now because I want to make sure I get it right. So just give me a quick second here. All right. So I pulled up your list of books on Amazon.
Uh huh.
Okay. And so I was thinking about which one I was going to try to do next.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm here and now. I'm asking you for a signed copy of the NHL Winter Classic, Save the NHL.
Sure. Yeah, I'll get it to you.
Okay, because I want to see the pictures. Did you take the pictures or did
No, a guy named Mike Del Tufo took
right?
some of them, and then his brother Joe. If you look up Joe, he shoots around the Delaware area. He's terrific. He shoots concerts. He shoots wildlife. He's fantastic. But for a while, he was shooting Flyers games. So there's a lot of behind the scenes shots in these. There's stuff with like Brian Boucher dressed as like Santa. There's a lot of cool stuff. And so yeah, I the only shots I took are Henrik Lundqvist interviewing Marty Baron's no, actually Marty Baron's son
It,
interviewing Henrik Lundqvist at
okay,
the Winter Classic
okay,
in at Citizens Bank. I took that one, uh, and I took a couple of others, but
okay,
not a lot.
okay,
Most of it is the Del Tufo brothers, but they did a good job.
okay. All right, and they're credited with being
Yes,
co-authors of the book. Okay,
yes.
awesome, awesome. So that's the next one that I would like to have, please, Russ,
Okay.
to add to my collection of
Yeah, yeah.
please, thank you, because I very much enjoyed the first one, and so I want to
Cool.
continue on. So thank you very much, Russ. All right. So, like I said, all you have to do is go to Amazon and type in, or go to the books selection and then type in Russ Cohen, and you'll see the laundry list of books that this man has written. And please pick one and buy one and get one because you will not be disappointed. I mean, uh, just about everything that I've read from you, Russ, has been pretty spot on, and
All right.
I like the way you write, and you've got
Okay.
a
I
nice
appreciate it.
style. So, and I really appreciate that.
Well, the baseball. I mean, you bought the the base the Pioneers of Baseball one, right? So
Yep.
that one's a little different because that one's really photo intensive
Yeah.
from the good old days
Okay.
of
All right.
baseball.
35 millimeter.
No, I don't even know what they used back then. I mean, I'm not sure. Isn't that the one
Okay.
you bought, or did you buy something else? I don't remember.
No, that's the one I bought.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's the one I bought. Yeah.
yeah,
Because I am
yeah. So
not a
that,
baseball guy. I am not a baseball guy, and I wanted to get that perspective.
yeah, yeah. So that one, so this one's more, now you're into the 20th and 21st century a
First
little bit.
century. Okay.
Mostly 20th though.
Okay. All right. But yeah, man, all I have to do is hop over to sportsology.com and get all the latest and greatest articles. You're on X, Sirius Radio, right?
Mhm. Yep. Yeah, I'll be
You're
on with Mick
on.
tomorrow at 12:15.
There you go. You also have to go check out him and Rachel on Locked On Flyers.
Yep.
Great show. They guys did great stuff over there for sure. You write for Elite Prospects. You write for who else you write for?
Uh, my own site, sportsology.com, NHLdraftbuzz.com.
That's
I
it.
do the Off the Post podcast twice a week. I'm also doing some prospect writing now for Hockey Hot Stove too.
Yep. There you go. There you go, man. Check that out
So
too,
I
man.
just started that. I just put one up last week and on JP Herbert, and I'll be doing another
Yeah.
one this week.
Oh, there you go. Okay. All right. JP Herbert, man. That's another good one you
Yeah,
got
he's
to finish.
doing pretty good.
I know. But trust me, I got my glasses on all them guys down there, man, in
Oh yeah.
USHL for sure, for sure.
No, no,
So
no, 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 no. WHL, you mean?
I'm sorry, WHL. Sorry, my
Yep.
mistake.
He's out of
But
the USHL.
right. But I mean, I've got a lot of eyes on a lot of prospects because, man, this is going to be a really good year for prospects, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
shaping up.
shaping up. But Flyers are shaping up too. They're
They are.
not too bad, not too bad. Could be better. But hey, at least they're not down at the bottom, but could be better. And that's kind of the way it's going. But thank you all very much for tuning in and checking us out, man. Big thanks and props to Lowercase Blues. All you have to do is hop on over to lowercaseblues.net. Check out all their great swag. They got some videos out there. They also got a new album out. Check out some of their dates. If you're in the Delmarva area in the East Coast, got to check them guys out, man, for sure, for sure. They are a great show, good blues music. They have the intro music here to the Hockey Writers Inc. Thanks you very much to Jake and the boys. Really appreciate that. You can catch us at X at HCKY Writers Inc. or RNJ underscore media. Thank you very much for tuning in and checking us out. We'll see you on the next one.